A blessed woman is not just an ordinary woman. She is a force of nature, a masterpiece of divine craftsmanship. She does not merely exist, she thrives, she conquers, and she radiates a light so powerful that darkness flees from her path. The world may throw trials at her, but she does not waver. She knows that she walks in the favor of the Almighty, and that alone is enough to set her apart. When she rises in the morning, she does not complain about what she lacks. Instead, she thanks God for what she has. Her faith is unshakable, built on the rock of divine promises. When the winds of hardship blow, they do not knock her down. They only reveal the depth of her roots. She does not crumble under pressure. She flourishes because she knows her strength comes not from her circumstances, but from the one who created her. A blessed woman carries love in her heart like a river that never runs dry. She does not hold grudges or let bitterness poison her soul. She loves even when it is hard, forgives even when it is undeserved, and gives even when it seems impossible. She understands that love is the language of heaven, and she speaks it fluently. Her wisdom is not of this world. It is divine, it is deep, and it is undeniable. She does not chase after fleeting pleasures or temporary victories. She seeks knowledge, understanding, and the kind of wisdom that transforms lives. When she speaks, her words heal, inspire, and uplift. Look into her eyes, and you will see joy. Not the kind that depends on money, relationships, or recognition, but the kind that comes from a soul at peace. She does not wait for perfect conditions to be happy. She chooses joy in the midst of the storm. She knows that happiness is an emotion, but joy is a decision she makes daily. A blessed woman gives. She gives her time, her energy, and her resources, not because she has to, but because she understands the power of generosity. She knows that what she sows, she will reap. And she does not give sparingly, she gives abundantly, for she knows her source will never run dry. Patience is her virtue. She does not rush the process or demand instant results. She understands that great things take time, and she is willing to wait for God's perfect timing. She trusts that delays are not denials, and she remains steadfast in her faith, knowing that what is meant for her will never pass her by. But above all, a blessed woman knows her purpose. She does not live aimlessly, wandering from one thing to another. She knows she was created for a reason, designed for greatness and destined for impact. She does not waste time doubting her worth or shrinking in the face of challenges. She steps boldly into her calling, confident that she was chosen, anointed, and empowered by the Most High. This is the essence of a truly blessed woman. She does not wait for blessings, she walks in them. She does not seek validation from the world. She knows she is already approved by God. She does not fear the future. She knows who holds it, and because of this, she shines, she thrives, she rises. So, to every woman listening today, walk in your blessings, speak with confidence, live with purpose, love without limits, and most of all, never forget, God has called you blessed, and no one can take that away. A blessed woman walks with unwavering faith, knowing that her steps are guided by a power greater than anything in this world. She does not allow fear to dictate her actions, nor does she let doubt take root in her heart. She stands firm in the knowledge that God's plan is always in motion, even when she cannot see the full picture. Her trust is not shaken by temporary setbacks, nor is it diminished by the storms that life may bring. She understands that every challenge, every delay, and every disappointment is part of a divine process designed to strengthen her and prepare her for greater things. She does not ask, "Why me?" when trials arise. Instead, she declares, "God is with me." When the world tries to convince her that her situation is hopeless, she holds on to the promises spoken over her life. She remembers that faith is not about seeing, but about believing. She does not need evidence to trust. She knows that just as the sun rises each morning without fail, God's hand is always upon her. When others give up, she presses forward. When doors close, she does not fall into despair. She lifts her hands in praise, knowing that rejection is often divine protection. She understands that unanswered prayers are sometimes the greatest blessings, and she refuses to let impatience rob her of her faith. She waits with expectation, not anxiety, because she knows that what is meant for her will come in God's perfect timing. Her confidence is not rooted in what she possesses or in the opinions of others. She knows that wealth can fade, people can change, and circumstances can shift, but God remains the same. That is why she does not crumble under pressure. She stands firm on the solid foundation of faith. She refuses to let fear paralyze her, for she knows that fear is a liar and faith is the truth. In the moments when she feels weak, she does not retreat. She calls upon the strength that is already within her, the strength that comes from knowing she is never alone. She understands that battles are not fought with mere human effort, but with spiritual resilience. She lifts her voice in prayer, she speaks life over herself, and she moves forward with a certainty that no weapon formed against her will prosper. She has learned that true faith is not about avoiding hardships, but about walking through them with unwavering trust. She does not let temporary trials steal her eternal confidence. She knows that just as gold is refined in fire, her faith is made stronger through adversity. She does not run from challenges. She faces them head on, knowing that God has already equipped her for victory. When others worry about the future, she rests in peace. She does not need all the answers because she knows the one who holds them. She understands that faith is not about controlling the outcome, but about surrendering to God's will, knowing that it is always good. She does not panic in uncertainty. She rejoices in the assurance that everything is unfolding according to a divine plan, perfectly orchestrated for her good. A blessed woman carries love in her heart, not as an obligation, but as a reflection of the divine nature within her. Her love is not selective, given only to those who are kind to her. It is abundant, flowing even toward those who have wronged her. She understands that love is the highest calling, the greatest power, and the purest expression of her faith. She does not withhold it out of fear of being hurt, nor does she measure it based on what she receives in return. Her love is selfless, unwavering, and deeply rooted in the understanding that to love is to walk in alignment with God's will. She is not easily offended, for she knows that bitterness is a prison, and forgiveness is the key to freedom. When others betray her, she does not seek revenge. She prays for them, knowing that vengeance belongs to God alone. She refuses to let past pain define her, choosing instead to let love heal her wounds. She does not see kindness as weakness, but as a strength that few possess. Even when the world grows cold, she continues to be a source of warmth, because she understands that love is not just a feeling, it is a choice, a commitment, and a way of life. Her love extends beyond words. It is visible in her actions. She does not merely say she cares, she shows it through patience, compassion, and generosity. She gives her time to those in need, her encouragement to those who feel alone. She does not love based on convenience, but with a heart that seeks to uplift and restore. She understands that true love does not judge or condemn, but embraces and transforms. Even in moments of conflict, she chooses love over pride. She does not waste energy on resentment, for she knows that love is stronger than any argument, and unity is greater than division. She listens with an open heart, speaks with wisdom, and acts with grace. She does not seek to prove herself right, but to bring peace wherever she goes. Her presence is a sanctuary, a place where others feel valued, safe, and understood. She is a living testimony of the power of love. When others see her, they see patience, kindness, and an unshakable joy that comes from a heart free of hate. She is not controlled by the actions of others because she understands that love is not a reaction. It is a decision she makes every day. She refuses to let the cruelty of the world harden her spirit. Instead, she chooses to love even harder, knowing that love has the power to change hearts, heal wounds, and bring light to the darkest places. A blessed woman carries a strength that is not easily broken. She is not defined by the hardships she faces, but by the way she rises above them. Life may throw storms in her path, but she does not waver. She knows that true strength is not found in physical power or external validation, but in the depth of her spirit, in the resilience of her soul, and in the unwavering belief that no challenge is greater than the God who walks with her. She does not crumble under pressure. She transforms it into fuel. When adversity strikes, she does not retreat in fear. She stands her ground, knowing that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. She does not ask for an easier path, but for the endurance to keep moving forward. She understands that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to push through it with faith and courage. Her strength is quiet but unshakable. She does not need to prove it to anyone, nor does she seek recognition for her resilience. She carries her burdens with grace, knowing that even in her weakest moments, she is never alone. When life knocks her down, she does not stay down. She rises, dusts herself off, and moves forward with even greater determination. She does not let fear dictate her choices. She refuses to be held back by doubt, worry, or the opinions of others. She walks boldly toward her purpose, understanding that fear is just an illusion meant to keep her from the greatness she was created for. She knows that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Her strength is not hardened by bitterness or fueled by anger. It is a strength that comes from a heart full of love, faith, and unwavering trust. She understands that true power is not in how loudly she speaks, but in how firmly she stands. She does not allow setbacks to define her. Instead, she turns them into stepping stones toward something greater. She embraces challenges as part of her journey, knowing that every difficulty she overcomes makes her stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. She does not complain about the weight she carries, because she knows that with every trial, she is being shaped into the woman she was meant to be. Her strength is not temporary. It is eternal, for it is rooted in a faith that cannot be shaken. A blessed woman walks in wisdom, not just the kind learned from books or passed down through generations, but the kind that comes from a deep and unshakable connection with God. Her wisdom is not loud or boastful. It is quiet, powerful, and undeniable. She does not rush into decisions driven by emotion or impulse. Instead, she seeks understanding, prays for guidance, and moves with purpose. She knows that wisdom is not about knowing everything, but about knowing when to listen, when to speak, and when to remain still. She does not waste time arguing with fools or proving herself to those who refuse to see her value. She understands that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves her response. She chooses her words carefully, knowing that what she speaks has the power to build or destroy. She does not engage in gossip, negativity, or foolish conversations that drain her energy and distract her from her purpose. Instead, she surrounds herself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge her to grow. Her wisdom allows her to discern what is truly important. She does not chase temporary things that offer momentary satisfaction, but seek things of lasting value, peace, purpose, and a life aligned with God's will. She does not envy the success of others, for she understands that her journey is uniquely designed. She does not compare herself to anyone, knowing that what is meant for her will come at the right time. She is not easily deceived by false promises or empty words. Her intuition is sharp, her spirit is discerning, and her heart is protected by the truth she carries within her. She does not rush into relationships, commitments, or opportunities without first seeking divine wisdom. She knows that patience is the key to avoiding unnecessary pain and regret. When faced with challenges, she does not panic. She strategizes. She does not let emotions control her decisions. Instead, she steps back, prays, and moves with clarity. She understands that every difficulty has a lesson, and she is willing to learn, adapt, and grow. She does not see failure as the end, but as a stepping stone to something greater. Her wisdom extends beyond herself. She pours it into those around her. She mentors, teaches, and guides others with love and understanding. She is not threatened by the success of others. Instead, she celebrates and uplifts them, knowing that true wisdom is generous. She understands that life is not about competing, but about fulfilling her unique purpose. She walks through life with confidence, knowing that wisdom is more valuable than gold, and that a woman who seeks divine wisdom will never be led astray. She does not need to have all the answers. She simply trusts in the one who does. A blessed woman carries a joy that is unshaken by circumstances. It is not the fleeting kind that comes and goes with the highs and lows of life, but a deep, abiding joy that flows from within. She does not rely on external things, money, status, or validation to determine her happiness. Instead, her joy is rooted in faith, in the unbreakable assurance that she is loved, protected, and guided by a power greater than any trial she may face. She wakes up each day with gratitude, knowing that joy is a choice she makes, not a result of perfect conditions. Even in the midst of challenges, she finds reasons to smile, reasons to praise, and reasons to keep going. She refuses to be weighed down by the burdens of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow. She lives in the present, embracing each moment with a heart full of thankfulness. Her joy is contagious. When she walks into a room, she brings light, warmth, and a sense of peace that others can feel. She does not allow negativity to take root in her spirit. She refuses to dwell on complaints, gossip, or bitterness. Instead, she speaks life, encourages others, and spreads hope wherever she goes. She understands that her joy is not just for her, it is a gift she shares with the world. She does not let disappointments steal her joy. She understands that setbacks are temporary and that what is meant for her will never be taken away. When things do not go as planned, she does not fall into despair. She trusts that something better is coming. She knows that true joy is not about avoiding hardship, but about finding peace in the midst of it. Her heart is free from envy and comparison. She does not waste time wishing for someone else's life because she knows her own journey is unique and filled with its own blessings. She celebrates the victories of others, knowing that joy multiplies when shared. She understands that happiness is not found in competition, but in contentment. She faces each day with hope, knowing that the best is yet to come. Even when the world around her is chaotic, she remains steady, knowing that her joy is built on something eternal. She refuses to allow negativity to rob her of the light she carries. No matter what life throws her way, she stands firm, unshaken, with a heart full of joy that no one can take away. A blessed woman possesses a generous heart, one that gives without hesitation, without expectation, and without keeping score. She understands that true abundance is not measured by how much she has, but by how much she shares. She does not give to impress others or to receive something in return. She gives because generosity is woven into the very fabric of her being. She knows that everything she has, her time, her resources, her love, is a gift from God meant to be shared, multiplied, and used for a greater purpose. Her generosity is not limited to money or material things. She gives encouragement to the discouraged, wisdom to the lost, and kindness to the brokenhearted. She gives her time to those who need it, her energy to causes that matter, and her prayers to those who may never even know she's interceding for them. She does not withhold compassion, even from those who have wronged her. She understands that generosity is not just about what is in her hands, but what is in her heart. She does not operate from a place of scarcity, fearing that if she gives too much, she will be left with nothing. She knows that a heart that gives will never be empty, and a hand that is open to bless others is also open to receive. She trusts that the more she pours out, the more God will pour back into her life. She does not hoard blessings. She allows them to flow through her like a river that nourishes everything it touches. When others hesitate to give, she steps forward with confidence, knowing that generosity is a divine principle. She understands that giving is not about the size of the gift, but the spirit in which it is given. She remembers that even the smallest act of kindness, a smile, a helping hand, a word of encouragement, can change someone's day or even their life. She does not underestimate the power of what she has to offer. She does not let past betrayals make her stingy with her love. Even if others have taken advantage of her kindness, she refuses to let bitterness take root. She continues to give because she knows that her reward does not come from people, it comes from God. She does not seek recognition or applause for her generosity. She gives in secret, knowing that heaven sees what the world does not. Her generosity is her legacy. She knows that long after she is gone, the love she has shared, the lives she has touched, and the seeds she has planted will continue to grow. She does not worry about what she will lose by giving. She focuses on what others will gain. She understands that a blessed woman is not one who keeps everything for herself, but one who gives freely, knowing that she will always have enough. A blessed woman walks with unwavering patience, understanding that everything unfolds in its perfect time. She does not rush the process, nor does she grow weary in the waiting. She knows that what is meant for her will never pass her by, and what is delayed is not denied. She trusts in divine timing, knowing that every season of waiting is a season of preparation. She does not allow frustration to steal her peace. When things do not happen as quickly as she hoped, she does not give in to doubt or despair. Instead, she remains steadfast, knowing that patience is a virtue that strengthens her faith. She understands that great things are not built overnight, and that the most beautiful blessings often take time to manifest. Her patience is not passive, it is active, filled with faith, work, and expectation. She does not sit idly, waiting for life to hand her opportunities. She prepares herself so that when the right door opens, she is ready to walk through it. She does not force things to happen before their time because she knows that anything gained through impatience is never truly satisfying. She extends the same patience to others that she does to herself. She does not rush people to change, nor does she demand perfection. She understands that everyone is on their own journey and that growth takes time. She does not hold grudges or let temporary disappointments define her relationship. She forgives easily, loves deeply, and allows people the grace to evolve. Her patience is most evident in her trials. When life tests her, she does not crumble under pressure. She waits with endurance, knowing that every challenge is shaping her into the woman she was meant to be. She understands that delays are often divine redirections, leading her away from things that are not meant for her and toward something far greater. She refuses to let impatience push her into making decisions she will regret. She does not settle for less than she deserves just because she is tired of waiting. She values herself too much to accept anything that is not aligned with her worth. She waits for love that is true, opportunities that are right, and blessings that are complete. She remains peaceful even when the world tells her to hurry. She does not compare her journey to others because she knows that her story is uniquely designed. She trusts that what is hers will come at the perfect moment, and until then she waits with grace, strength, and unwavering faith. A blessed woman walks in purpose, knowing that her life is not an accident, but a divine assignment. She does not wander aimlessly, nor does she allow distractions to pull her away from what she was created to do. She understands that every gift she possesses, every experience she has endured, and every challenge she has overcome has shaped her for something greater. She does not waste time doubting her worth or questioning her calling. She moves with confidence, knowing that she was placed on this earth for a reason. She does not look to the world for validation. She knows that her purpose is not defined by titles, applause, or external success. It is not about what she does, but about who she becomes. She focuses not on impressing others, but on fulfilling the mission placed within her. She is not driven by ambition alone, but by a deep desire to make a difference, to touch lives, and to leave the world better than she found it. She does not allow fear to hold her back. She understands that stepping into her purpose requires courage, faith, and a willingness to go beyond her comfort zone. When doubts creep in, she silences them with truth. She does not entertain thoughts of inadequacy, for she knows that everything she needs to fulfill her purpose has already been placed inside of her. She does not wait for the perfect moment. She starts where she is, with what she has, and trusts that God will guide her every step of the way. She does not compare her journey to anyone else's. She understands that purpose is unique, and her path is not meant to look like someone. She does not chase after someone else's calling or try to fit into a mold that was never meant for her. She walks boldly in her own lane, trusting that what is meant for her cannot be taken by anyone else. Her purpose is not just about her, it is about the lives she is meant to impact. She knows that her talents, wisdom, and experiences are not for her alone, but are meant to uplift, inspire, and serve others. She does not keep her blessings to herself. She pours them out, knowing that in giving, she is fulfilling her highest calling. She embraces every season of her life, knowing that each one is preparing her for what is next. She does not despise small beginnings or get discouraged when progress seems slow. She knows that greatness is built over time and that faithfulness in the little things leads to abundance in the big things. She remains steadfast, committed, and focused, refusing to be swayed by temporary setbacks or distractions. She walks with unwavering confidence, knowing that as long as she stays aligned with her purpose, she will never lack direction. She does not need to have every detail figured out. She simply follows the path set before her, trusting that each step she takes is leading her closer to the fulfillment of her destiny. A blessed woman is not defined by the world's standards, but by the depth of her faith, the love she carries, the strength she embodies, and the wisdom she walks in. She radiates joy that cannot be stolen, gives with a heart full of generosity, waits with unwavering patience, and moves with a purpose that is unshakable. She does not seek validation from others because she knows her worth is already established by the one who created her. She is a reflection of grace, resilience, and divine favor. She does not live a perfect life, nor is she free from trials, but she rises above every challenge with the knowledge that she is never alone. Her faith is her foundation, her love is her power, and her purpose is her guiding light. To be a blessed woman is not about having an easy life. It is about walking through life with unshakable trust in God's plan. It is about knowing that no matter what comes her way, she is equipped, she is chosen, and she is destined for greatness. The world may not always understand her, but she does not live for the approval of man. She lives to fulfill the calling placed upon her life. So to every woman striving to walk in these blessings, stand firm. Keep believing, keep loving, keep giving, and keep trusting. Your journey is unique, your purpose is divine, and your blessings are already written in the heaven. Walk boldly with faith as your shield and purpose as your path, knowing that you are and always will be a blessed woman.